Greetings. This is White Raptor News. So, we know in Hollywood that they throw you this symbol all the time. So, what does it mean? I mean, I know what it means. This one here with the owl. And then others that make the numbers 666 as well. So, what does it mean though? Well, I'm pretty sure it has to do with the all-seeing eye. Dazzling. This one here, yeah. What do they say about diamonds? Diamonds are a girl's best friend. And when a woman goes seeking for a man, what was the old idiom? She wants a man that's 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, 6-pack abs. Isn't that 666? It's not by coincidence that every person in Hollywood performs in this ritual. It's something that they have to do. It's how they expose the truth right to you. This is what they're talking about, the representation of the illuminated eye, the pineal gland, but that's not what we're going to be talking about mostly today. Today I want to point out to you that this whole assembly right in here, all of this straight down is the Pharaoh's staff. Okay? This channel teaches you that they've externalized the Bible and what it's really saying. So when Jesus is speaking about the pineal gland here, okay, that small little gland, this is the illuminating. This is the eye of the lamp. This is a representation to what they're telling you. So here the definition of metaphysical describes things that are beyond the physical world. It relates to metaphysics, a core branch of philosophy that studies the true nature of reality, existence, time, space, and the mind. Now, this is the Bible, the scriptures, is a spiritual guide. And these actors, these singers, these Hollywood stars, these rock stars, you see generals doing it, you see the presidents doing it, you see all of them doing it. And then you have this little symbolism here. What are they saying here? Do you see it? Right here? Okay, forward.
Ceremonial occasions by high-ranking church officials in the Catholic Church, as well as other churches like the Lutheran and...
So, this here is known as the fish hat. And what does the fish hat represent? This is your fish. Okay? Because Jesus was a fish. He was a fish of fishermen. Okay? Put these connections for you. Which represents the fish hat. Okay? Jesus is their God, remember. I'm making connections. But here's something I need you to understand. This is internal. This is called a toroidal field, a Torah field. And this is why the Bible is the Torah Bible. Because they've externalized everything. So I need you to also follow me when I tell you that words in the beginning, the words are magic. Words are a curse. In the beginning was the word, is a curse. Language is a curse. Before words were ever spoken here on this plane of existence, everything had a mental connection, speaking through telepathy, or having a precognition, a special powers, spiritual powers that you have on the other side of the realm that we lose when we're born into our flesh suits. So this is a toroidal field. This is what we're putting on. This is the fish that's in the toroidal field, and as you can see, it is an ongoing field. We are batteries, okay? And this right here, this shell that you're looking at, this is us, the fish, inside of our own field, our own Torah field. So when they make this This hand gesture here, it's a representation of our Torah field. It's a to the slave masters, it's a representation of just that. Okay, because you can clearly see that this is the shape of the hat as well. Also, when we look here, this here is the exact same concept. It's a representation of the pine cone. The pine cone is a representation of the pineal gland. They know the truth. I know the truth. And I'm speaking it straight out to you. Okay? They teach it to you in riddles, in their Hollywood movies. They're putting it all in front of you. Remember John Wick when he goes into the church, and there's this priest or minister in the back, and John Wick's got a gun to his head, and he smashes his hand or something, and the priest says, "If I tell you the combination of this cage, they'll kill me." And John Wick says, if you don't give me the number to the cage, as he's smashing his hand, I'm going to kill you. So the priest gives up the number. John Wick walks into this safe. It's basically a vault, and it's got gold, and it's got possessions, and it's got money and artifacts and all of this stuff. And John Wick simply burns it down. And then he goes across the field and he watches them kill the priest. He didn't kill the priest himself. He knew that they would kill the priest, because the priest gave up the combination and they burned up all the shit. So what's that telling you? It's telling you that there's money inside of these places that's ridiculous money, warehouses full of money, and they know it. They own everything. Don't you get it? What the difference between them and us is we just live our lives, we're born into it, we work hard, we play hard, we party hard, we do all the things that blind us from the reality of the world that we live in, making this place stick like it's real. It's not real at all. So along with the one-eyed symbolism right here, which is a Mason code, okay, gematria is written as a Mason code. It is Jewish numerology. Now, I study English and simple gematria and a little bit of Hebrew mixed with some Latin. But I stayed to the basic form of English because English is, my language. It's my first language. So this has allowed me to decipher many of the codes that exist inside of the Bible, or as well as expose the people who did the cryptology on this numerology of the Kabbalah. Now, I've also confirmed, anybody that comes in my room knows that I confirm that this kind of information right here, this is the work of the devil. But why? Because mankind, folks, are the ones that are the beast. So here in Revelations 13:18, it says, here's a call for wisdom. Let the one with insight calculate the number of the beast. Calculate the number of the beast. So who calculates the number of the beast? Who wants a calculation? Doesn't God, the Lord, ask David to take a census of the people to calculate the number of the beast? Because I'm telling you here, look, images of the United Nations. These are your beasts. This is your beast nations right here. So here we got the camera on here. We have the video on here. We got cameras and stuff up here in the back rooms and everything. And then you kind of got the darker shaded rooms. And then I'm pretty sure that there's layers here. Okay, these are the beasts of the field, each according to their kind. So when I come here and it's pointing out wisdom, which is Sophia, let the one with insight, the insight is the mind. Calculate is by enumeration. Something of pebbles counted in sequential numbers. The number of the beast. There's a beast right there. For it's the number of a man. The beast is the number of a man. And the number is 666. Mankind, here, simple gematria is 66. Mankind is this. These are ghosts. Look at the words as I connect words for you, the same way that I connected magi for you when I connected maga to magus, magus to magician, a magician to a magi, and a magi to a magistrate. It's the same thing with the corporation. The word corp is a short form of the word corporation. It is often used as at the end of a company name to show that it is registered business. How can it be shown as a registered business? Okay, I wanted this outlined. A registered business. So in government in the United States, when you go and apply for your business license, they want you to file for a fictitious business license, which means not real. It's made up. It's false. A fictitious business license is actually a fictitious business name. Statement commonly known as doing business as. The reason why they have you fill this out is because if anything should happen, say you're on a job or something, and like you're a carpet cleaner, and you get in this accident, and your equipment somehow is launched out of your truck, and just happens to shatter in front of a person walking down the streets and takes out one of their legs and busts them up really good. This protects you from them being able to take your business from you. Why? Because you have a fictitious business name. And this touches here. The corp. The word corp is short form for the word corporation. It is often used at the end of a company name to show that it is a registered business. But I just showed you, you can't be a registered business if the business that you have is fictitious. Doesn't make sense. It's off. It's totally 100% off. So now, common meanings: corporation, a large business or company that exists as its own legal group, separate from its owners. Corporal, a low-ranking officer in the army. This is important because you have corp. This is the whole thing that I'm going through here. Commonly confused words. Corpse, pronounced core. Okay? Is like the Marine Corps, but they spell the Marine Corps with a P. Okay? The corpse, the Marine Corps. When you go across the world and you work with other people in other parts of the world, you go, what do they call that? Right here, the Peace Corps volunteer. It's right there, a corpse, man. Dead. So once you filed for a fictitious business license, you have done the mark of the beast. You have went into the beast system, because that's what this is. Now check this out here. I asked this question here. In Genesis chapter 1 verse 25, God made the beast of the earth, each according to their kinds. Does this represent humans? Is the question that I asked. Or beast as humans. No, Genesis 1:25 is not the United Nations. The verse refers literally to physical living animals. Well, guess what, folks? You are a physical living animal. If that isn't the trick pulled over your eyes, I don't know what is, folks, because I can back what I say right here with scriptures. Everything that I say, I back it up with scriptures right here. Right here. 16:19 Jeremiah. Here we go. O Lord, my strength and fortress, my refuge in the day of my distress, the nations will come to you from all ends of the earth and say, our fathers inherited nothing but lies from our ancestors, worthless idols like AGT or American Idol, which will benefit you nothing at all. When we drop down over here to the King James Bible, O Lord, my strength and fortress, and my refuge in the day of my affliction, the Gentile shall come from unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies. I inherited lies. Your father inherited lies. My grandfather inherited lies. My great-great-grandfather inherited lies. And if we keep going like this, you're going to raise your children on a pack of lies as well. Vanities, lies, inherited lies from our ancestors, vanities of ourselves, because we're a ghost. You are in a flesh suit. You're in a spaceship that's going to die, and you're a spiritual being that will live on. And then things wherein there is no profit. That's back up here. Things that are no profit are your idols, which will benefit you nothing at all. So here, the Gentile, the nations, kabababoom, goyim, rarely goy, apparently from the same root as jiva, a foreign nation, hence a Gentile. The nations, right there, because I'm a badass instructor. You understand that? You see that? Nations right there are Gentile. Are Gentile considered beasts? Lie. I just showed you. This is why AI, look, come on, bring it on. Is this Google, Alexa, or one of these other bots? I am an AI collaborator developed by Google. Okay, so check this out. So you're programmed and can't do any thinking upon your own. Yes, that is exactly right. I do not have a mind, feelings, or a life of my own. I operate entirely based on my programming and complex mathematics. Every word I output is the results of predicting what text should logically come next based on the instructions and patterns I was trained on. I cannot make independent choices, form personal opinions, or act outside of my code. So the computer can do nothing but act outside its own code. This is the matrix, a system of binary code, numbers and letters. Okay, remember a cipher when he's explaining to the or who is it? Give me a second. This guy here, Marcus Chong, he's explaining to Keanu Reeves, who's Neo. Neo represents Neo, the Caesar. So Tank here tells him, when Keanu Reeves asks him, he's looking at the computer screen and stuff, right? And all these screens are running all this data and stuff. And he tells Keanu Reeves that all he sees is a girl walking by, a dog bites a person, there's a car crash over here, this person over here, and then, oh, look at this hot babe over here that just walked by. That's the code. They're telling you the truth. We're inside of a simulation, a coded simulation. So these people that do all this stuff here, they're coded to tell the truth. You understand that if this plane of existence is the plane of existence of both good and evil, then there has to be a place outside of this underworld where we're being taught, or maybe a lower frequency world. Okay, if you look very closely here, this is what I told you earlier. When it rolls all the way down, this is the Pharaoh's staff. You guys remember this scene in the Matrix here?
Then we have a deal.
I don't want to remember nothing.
So what he's talking about is this here.
You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy.
So he goes on to say, after 9 years, you know it's best. Ignorance is bliss. So they're telling you straight up here, when I show you parables like this, Genesis chapter 1 verse 27 Bible Hub, this God who created a man in his own image is an illusion. And that is what Cypher just said. He knows when he stuffs that steak in his mouth that the matrix is telling him that it's delicious. A wired matrix. I know it's a very hard concept for you to understand that we live in some kind of system. It's a Napoleon system written from the apostle, the Apollyon. Show you a little bit more. So when I tell you it's a system, and all senators, all of them, senators with an S, senators is a 666. Okay. A president is 666. Again, I showed you the other day that 111 means ruins, and God of Israel has 320 in skull and bones. All right, so this is what I call the Apollyon system that was written from Paul the Apostle.
No. I know this steak doesn't exist.
That the Matrix tells me that it's delicious and juicy. He knows that steak doesn't exist because he knows that this world we live in is an illusion. And I know that presidents and senators that are magistrates are magi, and they are creating the illusion, right? They want us to work for them. And whoever these primordial gods are that exist, that created the flesh suit, created a flesh suit that would die, with a short lifespan. You know why? Because any fool that lived inside of this system for over 100 years, 150 years, running to the polls every year for 100 years of your life, 120 years of your life, voting for politicians, you would finally see that nothing gets completed that they say is going to get done. So this God, Elohim, which is plural of Eloah, gods in the ordinary sense, but specifically used of the Supreme Creator, created a man. A man here is Adam, is ruddy, a human being, mankind, from Adam, ruddy, a human being. So check this out. Man and mankind. Right there in front of your face, it's showing you man and mankind. From Adam, ruddy, man and mankind. There are two different species of people. This one that's created on the 6th day of creation has everything to do with Revelations 13:18, and this one here that's created in Genesis chapter 2 verse 7 Bible Hub. This one is not the same. Then the Lord Yahweh, God, Elohim, notice there are two different meanings. Lord is separate from God, Elohim. The Lord here is Yahweh, proper name of God of Israel. Okay, God of Israel is 666. Now, I told you that this gematria calculator is of the devil. So, they're the ones that change the scriptures. Okay, when I say God of Israel, I'm talking about this flag right here. You look at this flag, what do you see? You see a triangle inside of a triangle. You see that diamond shape that they were giving you earlier as well. A triangle inside of a triangle, it gives you 6 points. Okay, 6 points, and now you have 6 stars or 6 triangles within this star itself. And then the very center is a 6-sided hexagon. A 6-sided hexagon is a curse, a spell, or a jinx that has been placed on somebody by the magic. The magi. These guys are magi. Why do you suppose that they're flying these 3 flags in my gematria calculator. Why? Because they're telling you right here. Watch. Is Iran sitting at the United Nations? Yes, Iran is inactive. Is the United States sit at the United Nations? Okay, silly people. Does the United States take a seat at the United Nations? Got to talk to the damn computer like a little girl. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant talk to the computer like a little child. So yes, the United States takes a seat at the United Nations as well. Does the Ukraine sit at the United Nations? Yes, the Ukraine sits at the United Nations. Does Russia sit at the United Nations? Yes, Russia sits at the United Nations. Does China sit at the United Nations? Yes, China sits at the United Nations. Does Japan sit at the United Nations? Does Japan sit at the United Nations? Yes, Japan sits at the United Nations. Images of the United Nations. These are your beasts of the field. These are your flights of locusts. These are images of troops marching in ranks. These are your troops of animals. Bring you back here again to the nations in Jeremiah chapter 16 verse 19. And the nations are a troop of animals. Flight of locusts. Okay, so when they're talking about the United Nations, that all of these countries sit at the United Nations. Okay? When they come together, folks. Oh, did it hit 322 skull and bones too? It does. Imagine that. Oh, that's God of Israel. Yes, I knew that. 322. That's skull and bones. Simple gematria is ruins 111 in the Strong's Concordance. Okay, Iran and all of these seats. So when they come together at the United Nations, folks, they're not coming together with those people that are in power to fight with one another. They're coming together to create lies and agendas and, shutting down the country, and let's create this world full of vaccinations, and let's create this propaganda and fear and tactics and war and poison and Tylenol that's been tampered with, and constant battering and beating and over the head continuously, day in and day out. Evil, evil, evil. Fear, fear, fear. And the ones that want you to fear, fear, fear is those in Genesis 1:25 and 26 and 27. 25, God created the beasts of the field, each according to their kind. 26, then God said, let us make mankind in our image, and in the image of God, in our image, to rule over the fish in the sea, the birds in the air, the cattle of the land, and everything that creeps upon the face of the earth. And then 27, so God said, let us make mankind in our image. And in the image of God, an image, and I've showed you this many times as well, in the image of God, I'm going to show it to you one more time before I phase out. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, Bible Hub. And in the image of God, again, closing out, the image is the illusion. This is White Raptor News Ministries.